Welcome to Aiken this week. I'm Emery Langston. Well, I am so pleased to be on location today in one of the city-owned homes in Crosland Park. And June is National Homeownership Month, and I'm excited to be sitting with some ladies who make that reality come true for so many homeowners around town. So sitting with me today are Ms. Trudy Boyd, who is the Assistant Vice President for Community Development for Security Federal Bank, with Laura Thomas, who is the Broker Assistant at Aiken Properties and a local realtor here in Aiken, and Paula Blessing, who is the Broker in Charge at Aiken Properties and a longtime local realtor here too. And we're just so pleased to have you ladies on the sofa today. And longtime partners of the city of Aiken, and we truly appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your day to sit here and talk with us about National Homeownership Month and what that means. And we'll get to a little bit to the ins and outs about what buying a home means, because the process really can be very intimidating and overwhelming.
Yes, it is. Yes.
And I think over time, especially in the last few years, since we had all the changes with the market, there's a lot more regulations and a lot more steps and hoops that you have to go through.
Yes.
So we are just really pleased to be here today, and you all have been a part of the city's revitalization efforts out here in Crosland Park, holding houses for the city, and Trudy, you have worked with many a home buyer in the neighborhood too. And workshops and a tremendous amount of work. So we're just going to jump right in and get started today. And Paul and Laura, we're going to start with y'all.
Okay.
And as realtors in the community, tell us how a realtor can help through this purchasing process for a potential buyer.
I think one of the things that we do first is we like our people to come in and actually sit down with us. And it gives us an idea of what they're looking for, what they want. And after we get through talking to them and giving them sort of the ins and outs, one of the first things we do is say, have you gone to the bank?
Right.
Are you pre-qualified?
Yes.
And 9 times out of 10, they'll say, no. What do we have to do?
Right.
And it's very overwhelming and it scares them. And it even scares them to pick up the phone
And make the phone call.
And make the phone call. So we guide them. Of course, it's their bank of choice. And when they go to the bank, when they leave the bank, if they're pre-qualified, then they know what they can afford. They know about when it will close and what's expected of them in money up front, and all of these things, and then they come back to us, and it gives us a good idea of what we're dealing with, and we can move forward from there.
Yeah.
So I know that the realtor community and the banking community works very, very closely.
Very much.
And it is when we talked about doing this show today, I really kind of struggled with who do we start with. It's kind of like the chicken and the egg.
Yes.
That's true.
Do we start the conversation with
We really can't do anything so she
Until
gets
she talks to
But you have to have a house to know too. So I know that y'all all work very closely in trying to make sure that the process is clear to the potential home buyer, and making sure that those processes are.
Well, the bank, and she will tell you this, the bank also gives them an idea before they even find a house what they can buy.
Yeah, because a lot of people, you ask them, have you been pre-approved? No, I don't even know what to do or where to begin.
Right.
So we kind of guide them on that aspect of it.
So definitely the knowing where you are financially is very important.
Correct.
Yes.
Other than that, from the realtor standpoint, what does the potential home buyer need to know going into this process?
About how long, it's going to take to close the deal. They also have home inspections that they're allowed to do on any property that they purchase. We just guide them through each step that they have, appraisals and things like that they have to go through.
And we follow them all the way to closing.
Right.
So yes, we're at the closing table with them. We go over things, inspection reports, which is an expense for the buyer and well worth the money.
Very much so.
To inspect it, and then we go back to the seller if there's repairs that need to be done, and request that the seller do these. So you're really you're still negotiating
through
this
the whole
whole
process.
time. And once we get through that, then it's, you're working with the banks by then, and they have to get all of their information to the bank, and we work closely with them.
Right.
And we go all the way
Yes.
to setting it up with the attorneys.
Sure. In working with all of you ladies, I have learned, the true importance in working with a professional realtor, and just being able to navigate those steps. So can the two of you just kind of give us a brief overview of, we talked about, there's appraisals involved, there's home inspection involved. Kind of just a brief overview about what that looks like in a process. What's your typical step that you would go through?
Well, typically, you get pre-approved, then you start looking at houses, and then once you find what you're looking for, you're gonna, make the offer, write the contract, negotiate that out, and once that gets agreed upon and everything, then your next step is usually your home inspection. Then once the home inspection is done, you've kind of go back and forth on if there's repairs that need to be done and taken care of. Things will come from the bank side as far as appraisal will need to be
That
done.
will have to be ordered. Yeah.
That will have to be ordered from the bank side, and it has to appraise for what they're paying for it. Termite letter has to be done.
Yes.
And they're usually done closer to the end of closing. And so, it's kind of like the contract, the home inspection, appraisal, and termite, and you move on to closing.
What is your typical close time? What is
About
a
40-45 days. Am I
Mhm.
right,
Yes,
Judy?
everything.
Am I still right? 40-45 days.
There are no
Yeah.
hiccups, yes.
That's right, if there's no hiccups.
that's smooth sailing along?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's a kind of a rarity.
Used to be 2 weeks. That has
Yeah.
all changed.
Wow.
It's now 40 to 45 days.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
right,
is.
it's changed.
Well, and working in the profession, I know that all of y'all are very seasoned professionals. Y'all really have seen the change over time,
Yes,
I'm
we have.
sure.
It has been.
Yes, we have. And the new regulations that went into place in October, which Trudy can tell you about, has made a difference also because, and I'll let Trudy explain that to you with the paperwork, it's different. So a lot of your people, when they go into this type of a situation, excuse me, they get very frustrated because they say, oh, the banks keep wanting this or the banks keep wanting that. We try to explain to them before they even go back to Trudy.
Yes.
They're going to
It's a
want these
process.
things.
They're going
Right.
to want these
Yes.
things. This is the way the
Sourcing of
process
monies.
goes.
Yes.
Don't think they're picking you out.
Right.
Yeah.
And they need to know this. They need reassurance.
Thank
They
you.
need for you to keep.
That helps us. Yes, thank
and
you
they
for
need
that.
you need to keep as a realtor and the banker. The loaning officer needs to keep in constant contact.
Absolutely. I believe it's communication. As long as you're
Communication.
communicating
That's the
with
key.
everybody, it makes
Yes.
the process a whole lot
Yes.
easier and smoother for them.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure. And we're going to talk to you, Trudy, in just a few minutes about all those changes in the paperwork.
She knows about it.
Yes, she does.
I didn't cause it, Paula. I promise you I did. We're always going to these changes. It's just changed. Yes.
From y'all's perspective, and I know you've dealt with all types of folks, why is it important for folks to own their own home?
I think it's extremely important. One of the reasons being that it is a community. It's a sense of belonging. It's a sense for your children of belonging. You meet people in a community. You take pride in your home. You start sowing roots, and these are all things that make for good community and good people, and it's just something that I think is very important. And another thing is that, and it still is, it's one of the best investments you'll make. You're going to build up equity as the years go along.
Yes.
I know that my husband and I paid off our house. It was wonderful the day we burned that thing. So if I don't have anything else, I've got my house.
Oh,
That's exactly
yes.
Right.
So there's a
Wonderful.
lot of
That's
things for
right.
owning a home, and I think the stability of owning a home.
Right.
I do too.
Yeah.
The stability that
Yeah.
it provides.
Yeah.
And they can do
Provide.
things to it that they can't do, like if they were renting, they
That's
can come in, they
right.
can paint it, and they can decorate it, like we
That's
were talking
right.
about,
Knock it
and
down.
landscaping
That's
and
right.
all
Right.
that good stuff. Make it
Yes.
their own.
Make it their
Yes.
own.
Yep.
Make it their own.
And-
Exactly.
And I know, I'm sure, especially with young homeowners, home buyers, potential home buyers, that and I've worked with all of you. You kind of help guide those folks along, not even through the
Yeah.
process, but okay, this is what it takes to own a home, because we have maintenance expenses that you need to think about.
Yes.
And I think that when you're so young and or not even that, but it's the first time in having something that this large of an investment, to make sure that people understand the whatever comes with
Yes.
That's right.
it is very important
Some
as well.
responsibilities, definitely.
Paula, you and Laura both have been partners out here in Crosland for a number of years, and again, we couldn't do what we do without the assistance. But I want y'all to talk about your feelings of Crosland Park as a community for a future home buyer.
I think it could be fabulous. I have all along. But you need the community support. You need Aiken support, which the city of Aiken is doing, and I'm so glad to see it.
I am too.
This is one of the few places that you have got good, affordable housing. And you don't have that everywhere. And this is great. It doesn't make any difference if it's young, if it's old, if it's retired, if it's with children. It's every professionals, everyone. And I really support this community. And I would love to see everybody get behind it and do what I know can be done.
Right.
Very good. Well, and just since I've been working with the city and with the program and you ladies who have guided me so well, and for folks who may not know, the city started the revitalization process or initiative on the
Yep.
north side, actually in the early 2000s, and
Yes.
some other places. Trudy, I know that you're very, very well
Yes.
versed
The
with.
whole Tool Hill.
That's right. I've
Yes,
forgotten
Tool
about
Hill.
Tool
Tool Hill, yes.
Tool Hill was very successful.
And that was another affordable type
Yes.
of community.
Yes.
And
Affordable housing is scarce.
Well, it is, and it's something that the city needs more of,
Yes.
all over, from
Yes.
all over,
Yes.
the footprint of our city. But in 2008 and 2009 is when the city came into the Crosland neighborhood and started doing some investment and redoing renovation, making some homes energy efficient to try to make some homes more affordable. So the city and our partners have really gotten behind the initiative. And for folks who haven't come out in a while, we have a lot of new infrastructure with some new
Yes.
sewer and
Yes, you do.
sanitary water,
Sidewalks and
Yes.
sidewalks,
everything. It
and
looks good.
paved streets and a
Yes.
wonderful
Thank you,
entrance.
Yes. Yes.
But it is a community effort, which
it
all of you
is.
have been very much a part of, and we look forward to futures.
And we
Absolutely.
would like to continue that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
What advice, if y'all could give just one golden nugget of advice to a potential home buyer, what would it be?
Oh my goodness. You would ask me something.
You would.
I'm blank on. Buy a home.
Yeah.
Be a homeowner. It's good for your future. It's good for your family. Buy a home.
But even if it may be an overwhelming process,
It is.
buy a
That's
home.
what I think.
It's worth
So,
it.
you know,
Yeah.
I want people to know that please pick up the phone and don't be afraid to make that
That's
phone
right.
call to a bank or to a realtor. We're here. That's our job, is to help you and guide you and say, hey, you know what? This is what you need to do first. Or, just guide them in the process. Don't be afraid of it. We will.
right.
We don't bite.
They need to know.
We'll
they
help
need
them.
to call.
There
Yeah,
you go.
That's
Pick
right.
up that. That's
You
right.
know until
Make
you
that
call.
first
That's right.
Yeah.
phone call.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked so much about the realtor end, but how much y'all really intertwine very much. So the finding your financial footing is paramount when we go into when we're going into this. So Trudy, what is the number one first potential thing that, or first thing that potential home buyer needs to know coming from you?
The first thing has already been stated, and because I remember when I bought my first home, I called up a realtor, I saw a home that I like, and I'm like, hey, I want to go look at this property. And they said, come, and where do you want to meet? And we went riding, and I was looking at homes, but now it's sort of changing. It's changing across the board because the realtors want to know, are you really serious and are you ready? Have you been to your lending institution?
Right.
To find out how much you actually qualify for it. And always, and when they're talking with me, I'm like, does it fit in your budget? Because when I have a couple and they're buying a home, if something happens to one of us, will we still be able to afford this? That's important.
That's very important.
That's very important. If something was to happen to even with myself, if something was to happen, would I still be able to maintain my home? Because as you stated, once I purchase it, I can no longer call up the landlord and say, Ms. Emery, my sewer is not working, or this, that, and another. And I make sure, I was like, you can't call Ms. Emery. Don't call Ms. Trudy, but you're going to have to call up someone to get it repaired. So coming into a financial institution where they're currently banking, or there are many, the credit unions or the bank, and finding out exactly how much do I qualify for? That's most important, in getting that pre-qual letter in your hands.
We have to have it.
Oh, and when they get that letter, their eyes light up, and you. What does this mean, Miss Trudy? This is your passport. They call up Miss Laura or Miss Paul and say, I passed, kind of thing, because they sit before us, as we know, and there sometimes there are some obstacles to becoming a homeowner, which is Security Federal has taken a gigantic leap towards making sure that if this is what you want, we want to be a part of that process, because I think all of us sitting here wants to get the customer to the finish line.
Absolutely.
We are pushing them all the way, pushing them and holding their hands and wiping their tears and encouraging them and picking them up. That's what we're here for. That's what we do. And it's nothing so more rewarding, to get them to the finish line.
The young people.
Keys, especially first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
First-time home buyers, when they thought that they couldn't do it, and you get that key, and you're sitting at that closing table.
They're excited.
They're so excited. I remember that myself.
Right, sure.
I remember
and it stays
that.
with them for the
Yes,
rest
it
of their
does.
lives.
It does.
It really does. And you can make it a wonderful experience.
Yes.
Or you can leave a bad taste in their
yeah.
mouth and they never forget it.
Sure.
Yes.
Right.
That's
Very important. Trudy's right.
Yeah, so that pre-qual letter is most important. I think most realtors now are saying, I need you to go, this is what's
what we
happening, but I need you to get me that letter. That way I can better guide you
Right.
as to becoming a homeowner.
Well, and it's all about information is power and
It is.
empowering. And so once you know yourself and personally what you can work with and what's realistic, it makes the process a lot easier.
Yes, it does.
And
Yes, it does.
but I know, Trudy, that obstacles can get in the way. And so for folks out there who may feel like, oh, this is, I'm nowhere close to where I need to be to buy a home, because I think that is part of this process that can be very overwhelming. That there are ways people can reach this and achieve
Absolutely.
this.
Yes.
And lots of times it's just in doing several simple steps for a little bit to get them on the financial track that they need to be.
It is, and the first thing is to make that phone call. Pick up that phone or walk into one of those offices. That's the first. Fear sets in, because I remember when I was in college, I did such stupid things and I messed up my credit. Credit and income; those are the factors that impacts whether or not you get a pre-qual letter.
Okay.
Credit. Those are one of the changes that we've been talking about. The investors are looking for a middle score now, as we call it, because in a mortgage we put what we call a tri-merge, which consists of all three of the credit reports. And we are throwing out the high score and throwing out the low score. And that middle score, investors are looking for a 640 middle score. They're
Really?
looking for at least a 640. And most people think that they don't have it, but when they come in and we take a look at it, it's like, you're fine. You're fine. It's like,
They
really,
simply
Miss
don't
Trudy?
know.
Yeah, they don't know.
It's
Yeah.
been so long.
But you don't know until you
Pick up that phone.
That's right.
Yeah. And I always say do the first work first. Go see about yourself. And seeing about yourself is taking a look at that credit first.
Sure.
Don't wait till you get in that line or ride them around and then you get back and you find this
And you're
dream home
disappointed.
and you're disappointed. Go see about you first. And that's what I always say. See about you first, meaning come see a lender.
Right.
Right.
And say, this is what I want to do. How can you help me?
Sure.
Or can you help me?
We also do not present contracts anymore without a pre-approval letter.
Right.
And
Oh,
we used to,
okay.
we did.
Okay.
And that's something that we don't do.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. I didn't know. And I remember that. Yes. So that is one of the things. But with security felt, and the unique thing about when they come and they sit before us is that we have a financial counseling product.
That's what I was gonna say. Y'all
Yeah.
did do
Yeah.
workshops and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
we do. We work with the city. We work with the housing authority because Section 8 now, we've been told that you can use the Section 8.
Right.
Y'all know that, right?
Right.
To purchase a home. And so, and a lot of them have those challenges because they may have a Section 8 voucher and they're not employed or not gainfully employed or they're getting fixed incomes and that's the population right there that you really want to help. They have a fixed income, but they so desire a home.
Right.
And that's one of the things I love to see happen
Right.
with the partners is making some of the homes affordable for that fixed income that,
Sure.
this is it. This is
Right.
what they're going to get. This is
Yeah.
what they get every month.
Right.
And how can we make it work? How as partners that we can make it work. But credit, that's a small part of it because that's what we do.
Right.
We help you to get on track with that credit. It may be a matter of just updating some things to bring
Sure.
that score up, but you won't know until you make that phone call.
Right.
That's right.
Until
Sure.
you go into those offices, the realtor's office or one of the lending institution of
Sure.
your choice office to get you to that point. But
Right.
do not do nothing.
That's right.
That's
You
right.
got to do something. You got to do
Don't
something.
just sit there and talk about it, right?
I wish.
Trudy, can you tell us a little bit about this? This is something else that I think that people get a little tripped up about when you talk. You call them your products,
Yes.
but
I
the
do.
different types of options, because that's another thing.
Yes.
There's so many options available for people to tap
right.
into. There are programs, there are resources, there are lots of available
Yes.
options. So if you could just speak to that.
And I don't know whether with Paula and you all, whether or not you've seen, I think one of the products or the options that's the least used are veterans. Certificates. I've been talking with a lot of veterans and been like, well, they want to buy a home. I said, you're a veteran? Yes. I said, well, are you planning to use your certificate of eligibility? Can I do that? And I'm like, by all means, yes, please do. So you have VA, you have the
And that
VA
would be
loan.
the veterans.
That's one of the
That's a
loans for
veteran.
veterans. Yes,
That's a veteran.
You have FHA loan, which that product
Which
is
a veteran's 100%.
veterans is 100%.
Yeah,
It
which
is.
is nice.
It's perfect. It's the perfect. And then you have FHA loan, which you would do the 96.5, and all they have to be responsible for is a 3.5% down payment. You have conventional, the people that don't want that PMI, that private mortgage insurance. So they're coming to the table with 20% down for a conventional loan. They don't want that mortgage insurance. It's like, Ms. Trudy, I'm going to put 20% down because it was, and you're talking about the changes, and with FHA, it used to be once that loan to value in that home got down to 78%, that mortgage
Yeah,
insurance
it
went away.
drops off.
Now it's for
That's
the
right.
life of the loan. It's now for the life of the loan. And most people are like, no, I don't want to do that.
Right.
And you also have USDA,
Yeah.
100%.
which is also
Which is good,
100%, which
And
is
that's-
another awesome product.
And that's for the rural areas.
Rural areas specifically.
Something that would not be in the municipality.
Yes,
But,
for the city.
but what wonderful opportunities.
Absolutely.
Awesome opportunity.
Yeah.
Awesome opportunity. So there are a lot of options out there for everyone. For everyone, there's an option. And the unique thing about it, however, even though we have the 100% here and there, but investors are looking, okay, have you been spending everything that you make? We need to see that you at least can afford the first 3 months of the mortgage. We need to see some
Right.
savings. Y'all know that, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So we need to see some savings. They want to see a cushion, but once we make this loan, will you be able to make the first 3 to 6 months payment? So we need to learn how to save our money. If you're talking about home ownership, learn to start putting money away. Because even if it's 100%, there may be some things that you may have to come up with $100 or $200, but do not have any savings.
Right.
If
Right.
something comes up,
But yeah.
they
What are you
can't
gonna-
pay for it.
Right.
Right.
What are you going to do?
That's right.
Yes, because you have to pay for your appraisal,
Right.
those kind of things. So that's important. It's important. There are a lot of options out there. There's something to fit everyone.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
something for everyone.
And first-time home buyers and
Oh, yes.
veterans and
First time home buyer, there's also down payment assistance.
yes, that's
They
right.
can get up to about $5,000 to help you with that process. If you don't have those funding, there's down payment assistance that's available through state housing.
Single parents.
Single
Yep,
parents,
single parents
That's right.
disabled parents. I mean, so there's
Absolutely.
But
First
that's
responders.
first responders.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
That's right.
yes. Palmetto Heroes once a
The
year,
Palmetto Heroes.
and those funds are first come first served. So if you have your emergency people and your police office and your school teachers, those fundings are anywhere now from $8,000 to $10,000.
And that's significant.
Yes,
Oh
that
yes,
is.
that
Very
could take care of everything.
Yeah.
Didn't
Well,
have that when I bought it.
Trudy, I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked Paula and Laura. What is the one piece of the golden nugget piece of advice that you could give a potential home buyer?
I'm waiting, Trudy.
You, I forgot, what did you say, Paul? I don't want to say the same thing. The one thing that I would encourage is don't let fear block you.
That's right.
It is fear.
Absolutely.
And we're all saying it's intimidating, but that's what we do. You know,
That's right.
we're here to calm that fear. We will hold your hand. We will, whatever it is, whatever it takes to get you to that product.
We'll feed you.
We will feed. Yes, we will do it.
I know all of you.
Court you.
I know all of you, and I know that all of you have held hands literally and
Yeah,
have
right,
cried and have
Yes.
laughed and have
Yes.
celebrated
Yes.
with your potential home buyers.
Yeah.
Oh, we have.
We've had
we
some
have.
wonderful, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
most of them were absolutely wonderful.
We have
Most
been.
all of them.
They have been. We celebrate, we dance, we cheer, we do five, we run around the dance, and it's an awesome experience. It is
It's
an
very
awesome
gratifying.
experience. It
Very
really
gratifying.
is.
Yeah,
Because
it
once they
is.
get into it, it's like, oh, they're ready. Once a homeowner makes up his or her mind, I see
Yep.
that they're going to do it. It's no stopping them. It's no stopping. They're
Right.
pushing it. They're pushing me. I'm like, wait a minute. They're replacing that back yet. You got to wait a minute.
That's
Wait a
right.
minute. Let me shoot that. I'm ready. You know, once they get to moving, they see that it's within their reach.
Sure.
They're ready to embrace it.
Right.
And that's awesome. The children are excited and everyone is excited. So it's an exciting time for
It is.
everyone.
It is.
And there may become obstacles and stumbling blocks, but guess what? It's okay.
Right.
It's okay.
We can
We're-
usually work around it.
We can work around
There's
it.
ways we can overcome those, but
Yep.
together we can be like, look, Paula, what is the and Paula might be going Trudy now. What the mic doing here? I know but it's okay. Well, Paula, I didn't know that. Well, give me a minute,
Yeah.
because that's what we're here for.
Right. Right. Well, you all
We're
do a
here to
phenomenal job at what
Thank
you
you.
do.
Thank you.
And we
We're here
can't
to
be more
serve.
pleased with your partnership. We're very grateful for it.
We're
grateful
grateful for
having
you.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Well, we have some great partners at the table, and the city of Aiken does have houses that are available for affordable home ownership here in the Crosland neighborhood. There are homes all across our beautiful city that are for sale, and so if anything has registered or sparked an interest today, you can contact any one of these ladies,
Yes.
any
Rates are still
board, the
good.
Board of Realtors, any lending and financial institution to help you along the way. I do want to mention that as part of Homeownership Month, the city with Security Federal, some local realtors, and the Housing Authority will be hosting an introduction to buying a home on June 25th from 9:30 till 10, I believe, at the municipal building, the conference center, and we'll get some information up about that program. You can also go to the city's website for more information on that and to reserve your spot. You do need to give us a call and let us know, and you can call us at 617-7980 to reserve that spot for that workshop that's going to be happening at the end of the month, where we'll delve in a little bit deeper, and if you have specific questions, we can answer those questions as well. Ladies, anything else as we're wrapping up today?
Oh, we enjoyed
No,
being here.
enjoyed it.
Yes,
Thank
very
you so
nice.
much.
Thank you.
I
Yes,
appreciate
yes,
it.
Thank you so
you.
much.
We appreciate you being with us today, and we'll see you next time for Aiken This Week.